Honestly, I wasn't sure if I wanted to stream. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I figured that the best thing for me to do would be to at least maybe go live for a little bit. Because the one thing I'm looking forward to is, or the one thing I'm looking for is the idea of finding my footing in AEW. I mean, not AEW. Finding my footing in AEW. I'm not in AEW. Um, Finding my footing in TEW because if there's anything that I've had a problem with in this game, it's just finding my footing in this game. Because it's not the fact that I've had a problem with this game. It's more that I've had a problem with finding any level of consistency and building any level of momentum, unless I'm a low level local company, and even then we still have issues. But it's just like, where are we going from there? It's like, I wish it was closer to, I think, I honestly don't remember when I did NWA Georgia, but I remember being in NWA Georgia. I think it was 2004, actually. I think it was closer to 2004 when there was a bit more people on the indies that I'm aware of, to where it's not, those guys that you would just find, where it was not just those guys you would find s- the scraps from WWE and WCW. Like, the indies were in a more healthier position after WCW went out of business than they were before WCW went out of business. For obvious reasons, because WCW was still in business, but I also, for one, in my opinion, do like the 2004 database and was actually contemplating downloading a more recent database that isn't 1970. But, you know, I do enjoy 1987. I do enjoy 1980, 1970, and it just so happens that 1970 is the one where I'm finally finding my footing and finding some level of consistency, which was the difficult part since I got the game a few weeks ago. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at, because the fact of the matter is, I oh yeah, Ricky Waldo, Stan Nielsen. Like, the one thing that I disagree with that they do is they have the they have everybody on ongoing contracts. I don't know if that was the case back then, but I doubt it, because I feel like, especially with the people that came in and fought Bruno, they weren't on ongoing contracts. They were here for 3 to 6 months and then they were gone again. That's how it was. That's how it went. You were here for 3 to 6 months and that was it. If you caught on, maybe you were lucky and stayed around, but for the most part, that was it. You weren't here for a ridiculous amount of time, because once you fought Bruno, there really wasn't much else for you to do. You know what I mean? But we are actually in the month of June. We are actually in the month of June now, and, well, pretty much we're looking forward to the next year. Ricky Gibson is in. Ivan Putski is in. Pero Gallo, Jerry Lawler, Jerry Stubbs, Morocco, Greg Valentine. And, of course, they got to fill in the thing with some. Unfortunately, they're filling in the thing with some people that don't actually exist. Unfortunately, regenerated people or generated people or whatever the case is. I mean, it's fitting because, again, this isn't where I'm planning on a year from now to still be doing this, or or more accurately, like 2 or 3 years from now. Like, I don't expect to be doing this in 1974 and have gone through the the Georgia Wrestling War and all that shit, because I just don't expect to. I'm doing this. The earlier ones when you first start the game are the ones that you do to try and find your way with the game. That's it. Like, it's not about. It's not about. Um, what's the right word? It's not about keeping with the game and only keeping with one season. It's about finding that season that you can keep with it and keep going and keep going and keep going. The main thing with this one was Bruno and booking Bruno. And we may revisit this. Like, I may somewhere along the way I may actually start up a 2004 season. And did I not resign? I thought I resigned him. Or I did resign him, and it's just finally, and shit's finally hitting the fan with that re-signing. I don't know. I think we will bring him back, though. I think we will bring him back. I'm actually finding my footing with this because even though we're not hitting the sellout, which I think probably is attributed to just lack of big names on the card, uh, so they punish me anytime a big name like Bruno is not featured, and I'm guessing that Dick Brower is too low on the card to be considered a big name. Um, but back to back shows, we actually have some consistency forming, and I do hope I'm not jinxing myself. But let's go back. We actually did positive. We actually went positive on back to back shows, but for the first time, we actually had the well, I mean, outside of Dick Brower becoming the North American champion, we had two people. Uh, this is the first time the original champions were defeated because Marino and Rivera won the international tag team titles very early on from the Sicilians. And, well, basically, Marino and Rivera kept the titles from the very beginning, and them now are no longer the tag team champions. Dick Brower got his first title defense against Pedro Morales, and we are moving forward now because the question is who fights Bruno next? The question is who fights Bruno next? And also Waldo versus Bobo Brazil, which I'm excited about because Waldo Von Erich has been one of my favorite people to book because I always love booking that menacing heel. Why is Paula K in this? Paula K should not be in this. Then you also got Ernie Ladd against Bill Miller and Bruno versus, Johnny Valentine versus Gorilla Monsoon. So you got a little bit of a layout. The one feud that I'm unsure about where to go with right now because of the fact that the initial plan was Karl Gotch to debut and have a dream match against Gene Kaninsky, but Gene Kaninsky got injured 2 days after I signed him. So that scrapped it. Then I wanted Gene LaBelle to come in and have a dream match with Karl Gotch, but then Gene LaBelle got injured. Then I found out Gene LaBelle is actually working elsewhere. So the idea of Gene LaBelle working elsewhere kind of ruined the plans because Gene LaBelle was working elsewhere. So it's kind of like, okay, can we really start, you know, moving forward? that if Ivan taught him anything, it's that now might be now might be the time to start looking for, maybe now might be the time to start looking for a foray into a different direction. And what I mean by that is that maybe now would be the time for him to start looking at possibly becoming, possibly becoming a mentor instead of focusing on his singles career. And that mentorship starts teaming with Ronnie Garvin, or trying to team with Ronnie Garvin, I should say, because there is no guarantee that Ronnie will be. I'm surprised that Dick Brower is not considered a big enough star. Honestly, I am surprised that Dick Brower is not considered a big enough star. To be honest with you, um, so we tried pushing Terry Funk up the card, but this is a test run for Cowboy Bob Ellis and Ronnie Garvin as a tag team. Lou Albano, Tony Altimore. Excuse me. So the Valiant Brothers swoop in and take the gold. Well, we want to regain the top prize. We want to regain a shot at the prize. If it means bypass, like, sort of like they want to start working up to the top and not be bypassed again. Like they don't want to get bypassed again. So we're gonna put them against one of the upstart tag teams and a test run as to why I'm re-signing Bob Armstrong. That being Pedro Morales and Bob Armstrong. So the Sicilians are back in action. Um, the only problem I see is I got to keep an eye on how many appearances Bobby Duncombe has, because Bobby Duncombe is supposed. I think Bobby Duncombe is on an appearance limit contract. Basically, basically, the professor explains. Hang on a second. Hmm. Hmm. Mm, hmm. No, this. Wait. I'm confused. Um. Wait, I'm confused. Um. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. That's basically what it is. Why isn't this starting? There it is. I don't know what I'm gonna do when um, Streamlabs Prime is gone. Uh, but you know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is, all this show's gonna go off, and everything's gonna happen, and then it's not gonna be as good as the last shows because I started streaming. That's all that's gonna happen. Okay, so they have neither good nor bad chemistry. Okay. I mean, they're good, but at the same time, I feel bad for Pedro. Wait a second. I did forget something, so let's add that in. So let's jump back and add it in. Mm. Let's go with star quality because it's not who's getting attacked, or it's not what's happening, it's who's getting attacked. Toru Tanaka defeats Victor Rivera. Another good chemistry. So Bobo's better without having to go off script. And Bruno does amazing with Johnny Rods for a match with a jobber or an enhancement guy. And pretty solid final segment with Bobby Duncombe. And again, increased our popularity. There we go. One of the things I would like to do is figure out how to translate this to 1987, to 1998, to the other years and the other databases, to do this in a different database. You know what I mean? It's not that I have a problem with 1970. I love this database. I do. But I would rather keep this database as a backup plan and not have it be the database at the forefront, because, well, number one, I want to save this database almost. You know, I do want to save this database almost for a later date. But the other reason is because it's unquestionable that I want to enjoy 1987, but it's hard to enjoy it when every time the show ends, you get hit with the bad, you know, that you get hit with all this nonsense. So it's hard to enjoy it when you're getting hit with so much nonsense at the end of it. You know what I mean? And usually I would say just take the hit, because if you know where you're going and you take the hit, then when you get there, it's more rewarding, because that means your direction worked. You know what I mean? I do think to a degree the problem is, or the main problem is, you know, I think to a degree the main problem is, you know, I think to a degree the main problem is, the backstage rating. Because the backstage rating here in the WWF is that. If I looked at the backstage rating in AWA, if I looked at the backstage rating in Jim Crockett Promotions, if I looked at the backstage rating in a lot of other companies, especially in 1998, a lot of the backstage ratings will not be that good. You know, specifically with this 87 file, I love the 87 file. I love the realism. I love the amount of people on the, you know, yada, yada, yada. There's so much to love about it, but it's just a bit overwhelming, and it's trying to correct something that may not be possible to correct without putting in the effort and putting in the work, which I'd rather put in the work to figure out this file and figure out new people in this file. And hell, I honestly would rather go get the 1983 file, scrap the 1987, go back to 1983 and start from the file that I know better than the back of my hand to a degree. Because whether it's WWF in 1983 or Crockett or, you know, whatever, I know that file better than most. So playing that file again on this game would be an easy transition, and maybe something I may actually do, but also 2004, 1991, you know, some of the other databases that I know better might be something that I actually consider, again, to hold off with this one, as opposed to continuing down the road with this one. Not to say that there's any problem or any reason to not continue down the road with this one. It's just the fact that I may want to go in a different direction. You know, like we may also hit 1998 in this one, because I tried honestly doing 1998. Oh, good. IWA, so that's up in Canada, correct? Or is he in Australia? You know, because the main thing that some people ain't aware of is the fact that Australia was still hot in the 1970s with, he is in Australia, with Jim Barnett, because Jim Barnett didn't come back to the States until the Great War in Georgia in '72, when Ray Gunkel died. And it was a back and forth between the original office, Paul Jones, Buddy Fuller, and somebody else. Ray Gunkel. And then when Ray died and was going to get put into place in the territory, but was basically written off, and then she opened her own office with people that were loyal to her husband, going against Georgia Championship Wrestling, and that's what brought Jim Barnett back to defend the NWA. It brought him back from Australia. He sold Australia and came back. I am lining up Ray Stevens because a lot of what this is once I'm done, like once I pick everybody off that I would love to have feud with Bruno, then I'm out. I'm done. I'm finished. You know, yes, surprisingly, I actually did stream on Twitch earlier. So I'm actually streaming on 2 different platforms tonight. You know, surprisingly, well, maybe not so surprisingly because I was going to post a video, but I decided instead of posting a video just to stream. How long I'm going to stream, I have no idea. If Harley Race was a babyface, if Harley Race was a babyface, then, which I'm almost 100% sure he's probably a heel. I mean, it might be a babyface in West Texas, but he is probably a heel. So he can work both, but I picked Ronnie Garvin instead of Harley Race. But one of the things I would like to do is once everybody's out of the way, I just re-signed Bobby Duncombe, but Bobby's got to stay on the shelf until, Bobby's got to stay on the shelf until he re-signs. So I'm back and forth on the idea of Bobby fighting. We're going up. Look where we were in April, and look where we are in June. So that means the direction I'm going and the formula that I'm relying on. Like the formula that WWE relied on back then was Bruno, the trifecta, or the sextuplet. But either way, Bruno being the measuring stick, Bruno fighting an incoming heel, DQ, revenge, cage match, or no holds barred match, or whatever the case may be. But Bruno would then keep the belt and go on to the next opponent, with the next opponent being groomed against one of the other top babyfaces. But we are getting better, so that means the formula is working. If only the formula would work in other companies. That's all I gotta say. That's it. Good. Bobby re-signed extremely quick. Fractured larynx? That's painful. Holy crap, that's painful. If Eddie was a heel, but see, I was going to re-sign the Graham Brothers, but I think the Graham Brothers' time in WWE was up by now. I just really wish Gene LaBelle would actually be able to work, but Gene LaBelle's not able to freaking work. I really do wish, but I actually think I'm going to jump ship and switch to 1998 to try and give 1998 one last shot. I mean, I know I could easily jump to WWE or, WCW again to give them a try, or even ECW to give them a try. See, the other idea is to possibly change up the plans and do what I did in TEW16 to try and make WCW work, and that's let Hogan Paul and Nash go and just try and focus the territory around other people and rebuild without the NWO. Which I think is something that's possible. But the problem with WCW is half the roster is unimportant, and a lot of the people that you would want to build a company around are unimportant. And I don't want to go to WCW. I don't want to go to WWE because I don't want to have to book hours and hours and hours of television. I don't mind doing it in Jim Crockett Promotions because a lot of what Jim Crockett Promotions is just booking the matches and occasionally booking segments. But it's like WCW, you have 4 shows. A lot of Jim Crockett Promotions is just booking the house shows, which are events which you don't have to put a lot of angles on. And a lot of it can be matches and longer matches. So it makes it a lot easier. So actually, let's try. Let's give it a go. I think I've only tried playing as ECW once, so let's try going with ECW. Depending on how this goes, I may make big changes to this because if anything, I may make a definitive switch to the idea of broadcast quality. I may make a definitive switch to the idea of something else, like a different database, a much different database. Because it would be a lot easier. You just be under contract. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't want you or need you as a road agent. He was a color commentator, not anything else. You don't need to ref. Okay, so we got to go through. Jeff Jones, Jim Molyneux, John Finnegan, and Pee Wee Moore. Okay. We don't have any agents, really? Eric Gargiulo and Joey Styles. Joe Gartner and Joey Styles. Joey was irrefutably the announcer. I wouldn't refer to him as a color guy. No color commentator. Big Dick Dudley, sign guy. Okay, so we need an agent before we book shows because I'm not going to have no agent when we book shows. Because that's something that I messed up with when I was... that's something I messed up with when I was in NWA Georgia, not having an agent. if we don't have somebody for the first show when we book the show, I may not book the show. Instead, I mean, let me rephrase that. We'll book the show, but we won't book the show, if that makes sense. If it does, can you explain it to me? Because I really don't understand it. Solid. I mean, it's a solid show. Solid show, I gotta say. So we gotta see. A franchise, a suplex machine, and a beast. The Sandman versus Rob Van Dam and Sabu. Candido versus Lance Storm. Just Incredible in its first ECW feud. The Gangstinatas versus the Dudley Boys. And Balls and Axel versus the FBI. Which I believe puts the champions with Shane, the FBI, and Taz. Candido and Lance Storm and Taz. Okay. I do have a backup plan if this doesn't work. I am to playing Among Us, but I don't want to play Among Us. I also don't want to play Fortnite because I don't want, I mean, unless I can cover it up and avoid people noticing, I don't want it. Like, unless people cannot notice, I don't want it because I don't want somebody to jump on and be like, why are you playing Fortnite? We're not there. Why are you playing Among Us? We're not there. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the people, but at the same time, you gotta understand that it's not really what's beneficial for you, it's much more beneficial for me. And this is also what I was worried about with ECW, that something would happen with ECW, but I gotta say I'm kind of impressed with the lack of drug issues, I guess is the best way to put it. Oh, man. So how is... I'm confused. How are certain feuds going to be pushed if they can't be pushed if the people ain't here? I don't know. Well, actually, if it's Hamada's last appearance, then he should actually probably go over. Like Candido should. I mean. Gave him his break. Okay, Devon. What's Jack? What would Cronus be best? Begins. Why is Taz annoyed? Oh, the incident with what's his name? Yeah. Honestly, I can't. It's nothing against the company. It's just the fact that I just can't get excited about the idea of booking ECW. To be honest with you. You know, and just the more I thought about protecting the series and keeping the series going for the long term, the longer it became where I was more fixated on the idea of playing something else. Shortstop at Broken Moon. So I'm actually going to go a different direction and play something that's a little bit unexpected for me, that being Apex. But we're going to turn off the music because I prefer playing Apex if I'm going to play Apex without music. This way I can actually hear things and not have it where PowerPoint. I may have actually gotten an idea, which I don't know if I would have gotten the idea had I not been playing this. So I'm happy I got the idea, or I'm happy I started, playing the, you know, yeah, happy I made this choice. I guess it's the best way to put it, because something just popped into my head as a way to help me figure things out. I also think playing on a controller makes things a little bit easier, or maybe I'm just getting used to using a controller more than I was when I first started playing Apex, because I was still used to not using a controller and um, using keyboard because of not having a controller. But now I'm more used to using a controller than I am not using a controller, if that makes sense. And this also gives me some work before I stream the game on Sunday. Because I didn't know the next time I would stream on YouTube, so I wanted to pull back and stream on YouTube today, partially because I knew, well, I stream early enough to where if I ever want to stream on YouTube super late, I can, because I, because I always get stream on Twitch out of the way early, because I usually stream earlier than later on Twitch than I do here on. Well, actually, YouTube I usually stream early too, but that's beside the point. I also want to make it over an hour, but I don't know how far over an hour I want to make it. But we'll see how it goes with the games on Apex. That's all I gotta say.
Optics here. Mid-range. Always better than iron sights.
Debs. The ring closes in 60 seconds. It's far, but I'm used to running.
Backpack here. Level 1. Rings ages away and closing in 45.
Why did I pick up? Why did I pick up heavy ammo?
Cheer, cuz. Extended energy mag here. Level 2.
I can use an extended energy magazine. Optics here. Mid-range.
go that way.
Wingman here.
I mean, we should start going because we aren't that close.
Yeah. Keen as a bean.
Care package incoming.
You know, I mean, the one thing that I don't understand is how connected Discord is to Twitch, but how how Discord is not as connected to YouTube as it is to Twitch.
I see one of them. Be prepared.
Yep.
I'm recalling my. There's a move here.
New kill leader. Watch your six.
Yep. Sweet fix.
Light ammo here. Forget that. Optics here. Mid-range. Getting my eyes in the sky.
Zip rail here for transpo.
Yeah, mate.
I mean, we gotta get down. We gotta get down closer to zone. This was perfect. Brought us right to zone. But apparently my teammates decided to jump off a wee bit before zone. Yellow guy didn't even decide to get on.
Backpack here. Level 2.
I'm recalling my drone.
Survey beacon over there.
The all-seeing eye.
Crypto's the only one that could actually.
Leads have rolled through here.
Crypto's the only one that could actually use the survey beacon. What we really need is some
Evo shield here.
armor.
Level 2.
Phoenix kid here. Patches you up good.
Heads off.
Backpack here. Level 2. Backpack here.
Optics here.
Level 2.
Mid-range. Quit pissing around. Move here. I need an extended light mag.
I'm recalling my drone.
Drilling here. It's there. Let's scramble them.
Spotted. Double timing it. I have to score.
Getting shot at.
Bad timing. I think we may have another friend with us. I think we may also have another friend with us, but I could be wrong. Because it looked like that team that killed me was behind us, not in front of us, because the team that was shooting at us was in front of us, not behind us. But that's just me. Hey, do what's best for the team. I don't care if you recover, you know, if you get me or not, just stay alive, in my opinion. I know he can't hear me, but still. My suggestion is stay alive, because either way we get points. Oh, that's really cool. That is really cool that Crypto can do that. So Crypto can stay hidden and, get people's stuff back. But I mean, think about it like this. We made it this far. And I think I was the only one that didn't have level 2 armor. The other two had level 2 armor because we really didn't see much level 2 armor. To be fair. So it's sort of like, well, what do we do then if we're not getting the armor? You know what I mean? I honestly don't know who I would unlock next, to be honest. I think there was a time when I wouldn't mind unlocking Rev, but outside of that, I really don't have anybody. I don't play this game enough to know who's, you know, tops as far as unlocking them because I don't really, I'm just fixated on the one person, that being Horizon, that I'm usually when I play. And the only time I actually play as other people is if the game is going to give me points for a daily objective. I mean, I think Rev or somebody like him would be the best way to go because it would be me picking somebody that's beneficial to me and my playstyle, which is more the run and gun than the healer.
Safety's off, weapons free.
But Bang has, Bang's playing as Bang twice is my daily objective, so we get
I will cut a path.
the daily objective done. Excuse me. Excuse me. Bang from the start used to be my go-to next to Bloodhound, but with a lot of people telling me to not play as Bang, it made me move away from Bangalore.
I say we land here. Hold your breath. If you have a respiratory system.
To be fair, I don't know how many of these people have respiratory systems.
First blood. Tastes like victory.
Round one. Beginning ring countdown.
You already got the... Heat shield's never a bad thing. Apparently barrel stabilizers are. No, I got very lucky. I got very lucky with the.
Great. The ring is close. Less than a minute.
Optics here. Mid-range. Always better than iron
I
sights.
need it. Using grapple.
Evo shield here. Level 2.
10 seconds. The ring is fairly close. Team, I found the next ring
Backpack
location
here.
for us.
Level
Check.
1.
I need it. Using grapple.
New kill leader. Surely you can take the title from them.
I can see that the ring's moving on the map.
What was it? R9. I think I'll stick with the alternator this time.
I'm going there. You would be wise to follow.
No, I'd be smart not to. I mean, again,
Incoming.
I have the issue of not having armor. Let's go be with the team now. As I'm just trying to protect myself a little bit better.
Heavy ammo here.
Wouldn't be a bad thing to get, but at the same time, I just need fucking armor. I just need freaking armor.
Evo shield here.
Thank the Lord.
Level 2.
Thank you.
Here I go.
Enemy in the distance. Target there. Enemy far. Don't let them slip away.
Is there a reason why you're taking the zip line? You know, if there's an enemy there, then aren't they going to notice you riding the zip line? I mean, that's just my perspective on it.
A new kill leader. We have our
You know what I mean?
target.
I don't know.
Target acquired. There. Enemy far off. Target acquired here.
Who's ready to fly on a zip line? I am.
Shooting. Cut down an enemy.
Open.
I'm under fire.
Cracked an
kit here. Slow to roll, but they work the best.
No, I ate dinner. Yeah, I ate dinner.
The next ring is far from our position.
I have nothing to say because, of course, I was the one that got knocked down. I was the one that ran out the door, and I was the one that got shot from behind
The champion
by
they did not deserve the title.
the excess people that were camping on the hill. You know what I mean? So it's just like, of course, these guys go out, and the guys that shot me are gone. So it's just bad luck, and that's what I have a lot of in this game is bad luck.
Might be something good this way.
And that's why I got taken down because that guy's got a sniper, and you could tell he's got a sniper by the after effects of the blow from the sniper that he clearly has a sniper. So you got two teams. That's the terrible part. You got two teams going after the same guy. The Ash on our team, and then
Just us. Gotta watch each other's back.
now the Ash on our team is down because they're in the bad spot with they're in the bad spot with being in between two teams. But now I gotta find a gun.
The ring's moving, friends. I've got an evil shield here. It's cool. Level 2.
Why did I recover that?
Down. They usually carry rare platforms.
I guess we're not gonna try and recover our teammate, huh? The thing's too hot. Holy crap, 91 points already? Come on. Come on.
Taking a knee.
I don't understand, honestly, why you would leave a ranked match, because if you leave the ranked match before the ranked match is over, then you lose the points, no? So it's like, why would you lose the positive RP just because you're not in the game anymore? You know what I mean? I mean, I know it's boring, but again, like, why lose the positive RP? Again, I'm not sure that you lose it, but like, let's say you do, what's the big deal if all you have to do is just sit there and watch for the positive RP, you know, to get positive RP? You know what I mean? It's like, what's the big deal?
The ring is in close proximity. Less than 1 minute.
What I need is freaking health, but I'm not seeing it.
Contact.
You know, I'm not seeing nothing as far as health is concerned. And that's the issue.
We're inside the ring. Got the positional advantage.
Target spotted.
Care package incoming. Let's
You know, it's almost like any and all health has been snatched up by the outliers.
Setting up a zipline. Enemy over there. The enemies are shooting at me. Grappling. Recharging shield.
Need a medic.
Again, a freaking sniper, really?
Let's go this way. Zip rail here. Danger close.
Thermite grenade out.
Hostile spotted.
All three of them are up top. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with the microphone. The microphone's going off again. Same thing happened earlier. I mean, not the microphone. The webcam. The webcam's going off again. And the same thing happened earlier. Don't worry about me. Do what's best for the team. Or... He may have me, but I don't think there is one that's within proximity. You know, it would be fun if they had like a... If the Moby was in the... If the mobile respawn beacon was in the... Oh, he's got gold. Number one, that would be beneficial to us because he would have gold. But number two, it would be a problem because he has gold, because it's a lot harder to get down gold than it is to get down purple. Which means he is... Well, actually, no. He's only one level above purple, having gold, but still, purple's better. I mean, gold's better. Let him fight. Let him fight, bro. If they don't know you're there, let them not know. In my opinion, if they don't know you're there, let them fight. Let it go. If I was that other guy that left us, I'd be pissed right now. He may have painted himself into a corner, but either way, it's been a good match. Yeah, because you had the one team over there and the one team over there. So you had two teams fighting back, but it was a good game. Especially because I did next to nothing because, well, I can't say. I don't know. That if maybe I actually was able to help my team. um, hmm. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Um, yeah, we gotta get. I mean, we gotta keep going a little bit longer because every other stream has been at least an hour and a half. Every other stream has been at least an hour and a half. So I would say we got to keep going a little bit longer. Um, hmm. Um, I mean, I feel like Ash is similar to Wraith because they have the ways to get away, but I don't use it when I play as Wraith, so why would I use it when I play as Ash? You know what I mean? Fusey it is. And I actually think that I should have been a different legend.
Welcome to Apex Legends. I am Bloodhunder. You can call me Bloodhound. Let us begin.
I clicked the wrong one. I clicked the wrong one. Firing range. Yeah, I clicked the wrong one. Now we get to play as Fuyuyus. I don't know why we're having a packet burst, but that would actually be extensively beneficial. This be light mag, standard stock. What, is there no barrel stabilizer for this anymore? What's this gun? Energy weapon. And are these the special ones? Yeah. Care package. And the guns that you get from. And then these are the shotguns. And what's this? Bow out challenge? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm not much for bow and arrow.
I'm out of shotgun ammo.
So that means snipers should be down here. I am not much for the sniper, don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong with the sniper, but I'm just not much for the gun. I much prefer other weapons. You know, the semi-automatic weapons or whatever the case is. Timing is everything though with the sniper because you can hit very far away.
Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
See, but I don't like the fact that the... Okay, maybe it isn't. I thought I was gonna say that it was that it was something else, but it wasn't. It was actually what's it called? I I I thought it was single fire, but it wasn't. That's basically what I'm saying. We're gonna start with our new guy.
If there's dirty things need doing, the doctor away. Just kidding. I'm made of metal.
Squad, try to stop me.
Introducing your champion.
A day without a fight's like a day. Get ready, moving up. Let's explore that way. Extra supplies over here.
Gotta find the grip on the controller.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Square one, we're all inside this ring.
I will not. I will not be working double shotguns. Double shotties seem to be a little bit.
Contact with target. Frag out. Fire. The enemies are shooting at me. Reloading. Broke that enemy shield. Recharging shields.
Hostile over there.
I tried being smart, but apparently there's no door over here.
Reloading. I am taking fire, friends. Enemy down.
I ran out of ammo, and there was another member of the team. I actually took one down because I actually was smart and ran around and a bit. Underwhelming it was. But I think I'm going to save the rest for the next stream of Apex, which will be somewhere down the road. But either way, I do appreciate those who stopped in or are going to stop in and check out the video because it does help and is something that I have been enjoying. No matter the turnout, I have been enjoying streaming more. You know, I've been enjoying expanding the content on YouTube and branching out on the platform to include a bit more variety of content. And I think that the easier way to do that is to I think the easier way to do that is to stream it as opposed to just recording it and putting it up because you get the live reaction from streaming it that you don't get when you record it. But either way, I'm surprised that whatever. My point is I'm looking at past streams. I'm looking at past streams and I'm just surprised by some of the results that past streams have gotten. But that's just me. There is no set way to do it. There is no set timing. There is no set, how do you put it? There is no set way to go about it because there just isn't, and I I'm enjoying the YouTube grind, to be honest with you. That's the easiest way to put it. I've been enjoying the YouTube grind. And even though this might seem like not as enjoyable because it's a shorter stream, there is no one proven way to keep growing and keep going. It's when you want to stop, you stop. And when you want to keep going, you keep going. And I think that the best way for me to do this is to stop here and call it a day and then move on to actually doing something else that isn't considered streaming. But either way, I do appreciate those who have continued to support the channel and are, partially responsible for the healthiest my YouTube channel has been in quite a long time. Maybe even ever. I really couldn't tell you. But either way, I do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video, whether it's a stream or another piece of random content. But I just want to update you one more time on the fact that I will be working on putting together Tyler Bate Finn Balor one more time. But the difficult part of it is the fact that I have to start from square one with it because the content that I wanted to pull out, I can't pull out because I lost the piece of paper I had all the timestamps written on. And, that's kind of problematic when you are looking for, well, when you're looking for the idea of using that to edit out the video or edit up the video. So you got to really go back and rewatch the entire video. So it's going to take a little bit longer for that to be published because I have to find the time to watch an hour long piece of footage to cut out all the other clips to either make a highlight package or two separate highlight packages, whatever the case is. I got to rewatch it to get all the timestamps and everything out and set everything up the way I want it to. Um, otherwise I'm just gonna have to say screw it and not do it, which I'd prefer to keep, bring the content in, as opposed to, just sit down and watch it, cut out the content and do it like that, as opposed to, taking the lazy approach, I guess you could say, and just not editing it. Because that's basically what I'm saying, and I would prefer editing it and scratching it out and doing what I did with the last one and what I've done the entirety of the series, that I'm not gonna end the final chapter on a sour note. So you guys got that coming, a lot of Inside TEW coming, and of course more news videos coming. I am enjoying every minute of it. I do have some other long form content that I'm thinking about posting, but I don't know if I want to post it here or if I want to start another channel and post it on another channel. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much going through my head that I got to find a way to put everything in order and take one thing at a time and, decipher it that way. Decipher it that way as opposed to, as opposed to deciphering it the other way. And if you guys want to learn anything, the best thing that you could learn is I have a knack for continuing stream. And even when I said I was going to finish it, I have a knack for continuing it and stretching it out for about 10, 15 minutes because there's a lot for me to talk about. But I just never have the avenue to talk about it. But a lot is coming, a lot is happening. I just got to straighten everything out and get everything right in my head because right now it's all up here and not down there. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate all the support and all the continued support. I love you guys so very much. I am grateful for this opportunity and I am loving YouTube more than I have ever yet loved YouTube. And I credit that to you guys and me actually taking a chance. So thank you for that, and I will see you guys again soon. And this time I'm actually serious